Listen, Phil and Sarah did a lot for Xbox. They came in, swooped in, saved the brand back in 2013 to 2016 when Xbox was at its lowest point, with the Xbox One being their worst selling console, one of the worst selling consoles ever. They came in, revitalized the brand with Game Pass, with buying all these indie studios, making all these indie games, putting them on Game Pass. But in these last few years, what Xbox has done with the Game Pass price hike, with putting exclusives on PlayStation, there is absolutely no reason to own an Xbox anymore or even play on this platform. You already have Halo, you already have Gears, you already have Forza, you have Grounded. All these Xbox known games on PlayStation now. What is the reason to play and own an Xbox? I was a Game Pass owner from 2022 to 2026, starting this year, and I canceled my Game Pass subscription because there is absolutely no way I can afford this anymore. $30 a month for Call of Duty, for Rainbow Six Siege, for Assassin's Creed, bro. There is no way you can tell me Game Pass isn't a scam, or not a scam, but it's not a good product anymore. It was one of the best subscription services we've ever had, but now there is nothing useful. There's no reason for people to own an Xbox anymore or even play games on the Xbox platform. What's good, YouTube? It's NoWayJeric, and I'm back with another video. Today, as you can see by the title of the video, we're going to be talking about Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond stepping down from Xbox and pretty much the whole disaster of the last couple of years with Xbox as a brand, as a whole, and just my personal, gripes with Xbox. I was a pretty much a Game Pass shield. I defended Game Pass for the longest. I got Game Pass back in 2022. Still think it's one of the best, if not the best, subscription-based service for a game, for gaming ever. It clears PlayStation Plus, it clears all the other games, like the whole GTA Plus thing or Ubisoft, whatever it is. Ubisoft is not a part of Game Pass now, but Game Pass was the best subscription bang for your buck service we've ever had in gaming history. And now just seeing how that was Xbox's whole stamp on gaming, their what's it called, what was essential to Xbox was Game Pass. That was the biggest thing, and now it's completely gone down the drain. It is the downward trend for Xbox. It's just it keeps going. They keep digging themselves a grave, and it keeps getting deeper and deeper. But before we get into it, as always, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all the love and support you've been showing me. It's been a week or two since I recorded the video, but we back with more bangers on the way. Resident Evil 9 comes out next week. We're gonna be on that. Probably gonna be streaming that too, because I already know that shit gonna be scary as hell. But anyways, as always, hope you enjoy, and let's get into it. Firstly, addressing the elephant in the room, Phil and Sarah stepping down. In my opinion, I think they saved Xbox 10 years ago. When they swooped in and became the actual decision makers and the figurehead of Xbox, they saved it. They revitalized the brand. They brought it back into the forefront. I don't know if y'all remember, if y'all are too young to remember, but the Xbox One was one of the worst consoles ever. The PS4 versus Xbox One whole generation, the PS4 definitely won that console generation because how the Xbox was promoted back in 2013, the games that came out with it, they didn't have any mainstay exclusives. Gears and Halo were already on a downtrend, and they still are. They're not the games they used to be. Xbox was in a horrible spot. They came in, they promoted Game Pass. They brought all these indie studios, made all these great games. Some of them they laid off, unfortunately, but most of them actually. But I feel like they had more to show us in terms of their vision and their direction of where they wanted to take Xbox, but unfortunately the decisions they made before their resignation, it was their time to come. I honestly don't think a lot of those decisions of the brand came from them. I think it came from the higher ups at Xbox. I think everybody, they have a boss they have to answer to. Phil works for Xbox, but his boss is Microsoft. Microsoft prints money every year with Windows. You know how much money they make every year. They're one of the richest companies in the world. While they're over here printing billions of dollars every year, they go over there and look at what Xbox is doing. And that's when you get all the layoffs that happen with all these different studios that don't make money enough, for them to sustain them working for Xbox, them working for Microsoft. So that's why you see all these different layoffs been happening for Xbox, all the different studios they hired, and brought all their games to Game Pass. It's unfortunate, but it is how it is. Capitalism really is the death of a lot of shit, and that's including gaming. That's why people, or that's the real reason gaming is dying. It's not because of other shit. It's because of capitalism. Like we already know how capitalism and greed, destroy a country. But anyways, I feel like it's very, disingenuous to say this was deserved when Phil literally like saved Xbox back in 2013, 2016. I don't know how much Sarah had in the, decision making behind the scenes, but she was his heir. And I'm glad she wasn't thrown into the fire with all this happening. Like after this disaster of the year of Xbox has had, she would have just taken the blame for everything. She would have just been, the fall guy, basically, a black woman. Anyways, though, she would have been like the fall guy for everything, taking place. And who knows, maybe she did have a lot of the, a lot of the behind the scenes decision making alongside Phil Spencer, but who knows? We don't know that 100% to be true. But I'm glad she, resigned with them, and she, wasn't just the figurehead, thrown into the fire and taking all of the blame for the consequences of Xbox's actions over the last 3 years. But I'm glad that happened. They did a really great job with how they handled Xbox until like their last couple years. It's been kind of shaky. But when Game Pass first came out, it was lit. They did a great job promoting that, that being like the staple of Xbox. So shout out to them. Furthermore, though, the first big mistake, let's get into this. The first big mistake Xbox had was when they had a studio like Arcane Austin, for example, who make first person shooters, and their parent studio, Arcane, if you don't know them, they make classics like, or stealth classics like Dishonored. They had them make a live service slop game, a live service zombie slop game. I know that word gets thrown around a lot, but it's true. A live service zombie slops game, Redfall, knowing damn well, because that game looks like graphically, it looks really good. Like the cutscenes, the graphics and all that. So they definitely spend a lot of time, and like that takes a lot of fucking time and resources to develop and, have a game look that good. It just played like shit, obviously. Spent hella time, resources making that piece of shit ass game, come out, flop, and then fire them. Like, why would you do Arcane Austin like that? Like a company, Arcane Austin in specific, they made Prey. Prey is one of the best first person shooter games of all time. If you don't know that game, go ahead and play it. It's one of the best, like, it's like a first person shooter, horror kind of space stealth game. Great game, by the way. Arcane Austin are talented. They are talented devs, right? You have to make Redfall a game that came out. It was fucking one of the worst games we've ever had. Optimization was ass. Like the gameplay was ass. Everything about Redfall was a fucking disappointment. And I'm not saying they don't get they deserve a pass for making a shit game. No, but it's like you allocated your resources in the wrong way. You don't have Hideo Kojima make racing games. You don't have Miyazaki make first person shooter games. You don't do that. You don't have, like just allocate your resources in that way when it's like you're having a studio who makes 2D platformer side-scrolling games all of a sudden make first-person shooter live service games. It just doesn't work that way. You can't. People are talented, and they utilize their talent in different ways and making different games. And some people aren't great at making games like first-person shooter zombie live service game. That's just how the gaming world works. That's how the world works in general. You don't have people do that. Like I'm not smart enough to be a scientist or a rocket scientist. You know what I'm saying? It's just I feel like Xbox did Arcane Austin really wrong because there is a lot of talent at that studio, and unfortunately they are laid off. You didn't know either. Like they are, they fired that whole section of Arcane. Additionally, on that point too, they had a literal hit on Game Pass with Hi-Fi Rush, made by Tango, by the way, which if you didn't know was one of the best hack and slash 3D like platforming games ever. And it had like this dope like cell shaded animation with it, with all the characters and the main character and all the abilities you use. It was a really unique game. I miss Hi-Fi Rush. That was a great game in 2023. Definitely highly recommend that. Game comes out, it's a critical commercial hit, proceeds to lay them off. This is when we were realizing, Xbox is headed in a downward, like in a really, really bad state. Like they're heading downwards. Like the trend, you can see it. Like how the hell you had these talented devs, you brought them out, put their game on Game Pass. It's a legit hit. People love that game. and then you still proceed to lay them off. I don't understand what was going on around that time, and I feel bad for Tango. I'm pretty sure, some of those devs are bouncing back on their feet, but that was really tragic. That was really, sad to hear when that news came out, because I'm like, damn, like they made a good ass game. You can make a great game, let it be a commercial and a critical success, sells well and all that, and you still get laid off. Like, what do you want them to do at that point? What do you want these indie dev studios to do when you make a great game and you still get laid off for it? It just sucks that, Tango, unfortunately, it had that happen to them. But that's probably, Xbox's standards. They wanted that game to sell like 10, 20 million maybe. I don't know. But that's like really unrealistic if you're asking me, for an indie dev studio to sell 10, 20 million copies or make that much money. Like they made their money back. I'm pretty sure they made enough money to justify them. And fuck the money, the game was good. Fuck the money, like the game was amazing. The game was actually probably one of my top 10 favorite games of 2023. And that year was competitive as hell. So anyways, though, me yapping about that. Shout out Tango, bro. I made a great game. Furthermore, another huge hit to Xbox was excuse me, was of course the price increase of Game Pass, which I said in my intro was a massive, like gigantic mistake on their end. The Game Pass was one of, if not the best, bang for your buck subscription services for games ever. It literally changed the landscape of gaming. As soon as Game Pass released, you saw PlayStation Plus Essential come out. You saw all these subscription-based services like EA Play, like GTA Plus or whatever. All these other subscription-based services come out for games after Game Pass because they saw how much of a success it was. It changed gaming forever, and you did the literal worst move of all time. Like, you made the price increase during a time when people probably aren't going to be able to afford that every single month. I'm not paying $30 for Rainbow Six and Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed games that I played when I was 10 years old. Like, nobody is going to be paying $30 a month for Game Pass when nothing on there is justified for the price increase. Nobody's going to be paying $30 a month for the Halo Master Chief Collection or the Gears of War. You know what I'm saying? Like, those games are old. People have already played those games. Like, what are you offering new and exciting for us to, for you to justify the price increase and for us to keep coming back and, keep coming back to Xbox? Like I said, you have High Five Rush, which was a hit, and then you still laid them off. You still hire these talented ass devs. They make great products, and then you proceed to still lay them off because they're not making enough money as a Marvel Rivals or an Arc Raiders or any other live service game. I understand, Phil. I understand, Sarah. You were definitely answering to Xbox, and there's probably other behind the scenes shit we don't know about. But it's like, what is there on Game Pass for me to justify paying $30 a month like every single time? I don't know what it is. Maybe for y'all coming down below, if you still use Game Pass religiously for $30 a month to play Death Stranding 1, I don't think there's any other new games coming out this year that are going to be on Game Pass. Like, there's Reanimal's on Game Pass, the Resident Evil games on Game Pass. What other new games are coming? Or Forza Horizon, like, where you can still buy that on PlayStation for $70 and still get it for the whole year without paying $30 a month. So I like, y'all see what they're doing. I don't understand the reason to be on Xbox anymore. I just don't get it. Game Pass was already on a downwards trajectory as it was. And then you have this whole conference announcement of, Call of Duty is coming to Game Pass. Nobody is going to be paying $30 a month for fucking Call of Duty. Knowing damn well I am a content creator. I'm a Call of Duty content creator. I built my channel off Call of Duty. I love COD. I can say Call of Duty is not worth $30 a month. Like, it is definitely the state of the game is right now with that shitty ass bullet hit reg and the desync and all that shit. The game feels fucking horrible to play. That shit is not worth $30 a month. I'm telling y'all, do not pay $30. Excuse me. Do not pay $30 a month for Call of Duty. Do not do that shit. In this economy too, you can buy the game for $70 and have it for the whole year. Do not pay $30 a month for fucking Game Pass. I feel like Xbox put all of their eggs in one basket with the announcement of COD coming to Game Pass and thought, oh yeah, we're gonna have way more subscribers coming, every year for Call of Duty. Knowing damn well COD's not in the best state right now, and we're not in the best economic state right now in the world. Maybe if Call of Duty was back in 2010, with Black Ops 1 and NW3 and BO2, maybe, during that time, but people aren't going to be paying $30 a month for Black Ops 7. It's just not how it works. And then you start dropping your games on your rival console, PlayStation. You start dropping your games on there. They've been promoting this whole play anywhere slogan, play anywhere tag on every Xbox ad. Every time they come up and talk about Xbox, play anywhere, play on your phone, play on your Steam Deck, play on your Switch at this point, play on PlayStation. It don't matter where you are, Xbox play anywhere. That's just like, I love competition. I feel like they're like kind of like waving the white flag, throwing it in, because it's like, you're putting your games on your rival console. What is the reason for me to buy an Xbox anymore? I don't understand. Why would I want to buy the new Xbox, which is rumored to be a console PC hybrid? So basically like the Steam Deck, if you know what a Steam Deck is. Why would I want to buy that over the Steam Deck? The Steam Deck, I can play PlayStation and Xbox games and PC games on there. Xbox, I'm not gonna be playing. I'm not gonna be able to play God of War. Maybe if I do some crazy PC shit, like go beyond, just the workings of the base console. Anyways, though, why would I want to buy that over the Steam Deck when I can get Steam games, PlayStation games, and Xbox games on the Steam Deck? And the Steam Deck could be cheaper, possibly. I don't think it will be. I think both the Steam machine and the Xbox new console, new PC, whatever, will both be around like 12 to 1500. That shit will be expensive. Don't even get a pre-built PC. Don't even buy that shit. But what is the reason to own an Xbox anymore? Somebody tell me right now who's been a long time legacy grandfather Xbox, player, like since the old days, the first Xbox. What do you do now? Like, why would you want to play or have an Xbox over a PlayStation and you get better games on the PlayStation? Of course, you don't have Game Pass, but you still have Xbox games coming to PlayStation. You get all these other features. I just don't understand the reason or the direction Xbox was going towards. And that's why I feel like Sarah Bond and Phil were kind of making really questionable decisions coming into this deck or coming into these last couple of years. The whole play anywhere slogan, I feel like it's bad for like you trying to sell the hardware, because it's like, why, like I always say this, why would you want to get an Xbox now when PlayStation is getting the games too and you get the PlayStation exclusives? I just don't feel like the Xbox hardware is going to sell that well anymore. Like, especially too when the Series S and the Series X, or the Series S was a success, even though it kind of held back gaming, because like it's not a powerful console. It's like, isn't it like more powerful than the Pro, but it's not like as powerful as the PS5 and the Series X. It was like success, and that was the first console I got too, my Series S. But like, why would you want to get the new Xbox console PC when damn well that shit gonna be expensive too? Because it is so dumb. Like, all their decisions making, right? Let's go down the list again. They brought all these small studios, right, for Game Pass. Put all their games on Game Pass. They make great games. Then they still lay them off because they're not making their return back on Game Pass that they thought they would. Lay all of them off. Buy Activision for, what was it, $60 billion? Activision Blizzard for $70 billion. Put COD on Game Pass. They're excited as fuck. Nobody cares about COD that much to buy Game Pass for $30 a month. It's not justified. Then they're like, oh yeah, we're also going to put all of our exclusives like Halo, Gears of War, staples to the Xbox community, to the Xbox brand, onto PlayStation. Why would you do that? It feels like they're throwing in the white flag and they don't know where the fuck to go. And then the other Xbox new CEOs coming out saying, oh yeah, even though AI has been innovating, AI has been furthering, technology and all that, we're not going to have AI. Why would you say that? That just means you're going to start using AI in your games. I hope y'all know, do not believe that, faulty ass statement or I forgot their name, but that CEO said, the new one coming up, they're not going to use AI. Xbox will 100%, I can bet on it, will 100% start using AI. Microsoft is already trying to push that damn Copilot shit down our throats. They will definitely be using AI in the future. I can promise you that. Do not believe that fucking statement they did. So I'm like, what are the positives going in for Xbox? For like further, like what are the positives going into Xbox these next couple of years? I don't know any or I see a lot of glaring issues. I don't see any like glaring, I guess, positives for Xbox coming into like the new console coming out. The new console is rumored to be in like 2027. That's only a year away, maybe 2028, 2 years away before the PlayStation 6. And I'm like, why would I want to get this PC console hybrid when I can maybe get a Steam machine if it's cheaper and maybe get a PC too? Xbox has nothing going for it in terms of selling hardware anymore. They're hard. I know they eventually want to start. They're a software company, my nigga. It makes sense. They want to eventually stop making hardware a lot and just start like, you know, pushing the cloud down our throats, pushing AI down our throats. I know damn well this company is all about making money. It's Microsoft. They've been one of the richest companies in the world for the last 30, 40 years with Windows. They want to move towards software. They want to move towards cloud gaming, playing games on your TV, playing games on your phone. You know, the whole not owning anything, you know, we don't got to get into that, but the whole not owning anything, everything is just a subscription. That's another topic for another day. But like I said, I don't understand the reason to own an Xbox anymore. This is my personal gripe. I was an Xbox or a Series S owner and a Game Pass owner for a long time, 4 years straight. I loved it. I was a shield. I was telling all my friends I'd be on my Xbox. There was a point in time where I was on my Xbox more than my PlayStation because I loved the Game Pass so much and all the great games that came for it. Do y'all remember how bad I don't think y'all remember how bad the Xbox era was back in like 2013, 2016, like them promoting the whole TV and show shit, like just pretty much promoting Xbox as like a streaming device more than like a place to play games. Phil and Sarah saved them niggas. Like they literally kind of revived Xbox because Halo and Gears weren't hitting anymore. Back in, you know, when growing up, when I was like a little ass kid, I wanted a 360. I wanted an Xbox really bad for Halo, for Gears, for Mass Effect. Mass Effect was an exclusive to Xbox for a long ass time. Up until recently, like I wanted to play Mass Effect so damn bad. You had Fable, you had the COD DLCs coming out a month before PlayStation. I remember my neighbor had a 360. I'm going to his house playing Origins and shit. Like I just remember all those times of me wanting an Xbox so bad. I finally get my Xbox. I'm happy I should my Series S. I play the Series S a shit ton every year because they had the Doom trilogy. They had games like Expedition last year. They had Dead Space Remake on there. They had so many different games. Of course, Halo Infinite when it was popping back in 2022. The Game Pass was lit. The Game Pass was banging for a few years and up until recently. It had bangers. It was a great service for 10, 15, $20 a month. You got your money's worth. Now it's like I'm not paying $30 for old games. They don't have any new games slated, like I said earlier, like Reanimal, Resident Evil. Of course, like GTA 6. Fuck no, that's not gonna be a free game on Game Pass. Hell no. What do they have slated? Like what good qualities do they have coming out for the Game Pass? I just don't think they have anything worthwhile. And comment down below if I'm tripping, but why would y'all still play your Xbox? Unless you've been like I said, a legacy grandfather player, you know, that's just your main console. Your friends are on that console. Why would you want to play Xbox now? I just don't understand. But anyways, though, I've been yapping for a minute. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all love and support y'all been showing me. Comment down below how you feel about Microsoft, how you feel about Xbox. Phil and Sarah stepping down if you were a fan of them. Glad nothing happened to Sarah. Phil definitely seemed sad. He definitely seemed defeated in his farewell post. Hopefully he can bounce back on his feet, and I'm going to be there for any future endeavors with him. I'm saying that like I work with the nigga, but I'm going to be there for what he has coming up next in his career. Same thing for Sarah, but Xbox is done. Like I don't see how Xbox can bounce back on their feet from this and recover from this. It's GG's for Xbox. There is nothing I want to. There is no reason for me to play my Xbox anymore. That shit's been collecting dust. That shit is it's not been collecting dust. That shit's been used for movies, for NBA games. That shit is what the Xbox One was supposed to be. Like what they wanted the Xbox One to be, a damn streaming device. That is the Xbox Series X now. That shit is just collecting dust. If I can get Halo, Gears, and Forza and Fable on my PlayStation, I will be getting that shit on my PlayStation. I don't care if it's on Game Pass. I'll be buying that shit on my PlayStation and owning the actual game. But anyways, though, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all the support you've been showing me. We back. Comment down below how you feel about everything I said. And, of course, have a great day. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all.